What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Nickel Up podcast. This week we're down in Miami and we interviewed our good friend Ben Mader on the pod. Ben's a college dropout and has run several successful businesses over the last few years. Right now he's taking DJing seriously in Miami and he's on the come up. He's about to blow up. We saw him perform twice this weekend and the kid's great. We'd like to announce that in addition to our Sunday drops, we're also going to be having episodes on every Wednesday. This week we have our good friend Tyler Seller, who's been on an episode before, and he brought on his co-worker Boston Flicks. Excited for you guys to check it out. Make sure to tune in, like and subscribe. Thanks. All right, Ben, thank you for hosting us in your wonderful apartment. We are in Miami right now.
Art Basel.
Big weekend down
here. What is Art Basel?
Honestly, I still don't even know. It obviously there's a lot of art, but I feel like in the last couple of years, 2 years ago, I feel like it was a big a lot of crypto parties, a lot of NFT parties, and a lot of tech stuff. But I feel like now, like the main events are just DJ events and music events.
What about that ATM machine? That was last year, right?
The one that Diplo put his
it was like
his ATM card,
$42 million or something.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously a ton of art galleries here, but it's just so broad. Like there's so many, everyone just uses it as an excuse to throw a party. Which is sick.
What are you most excited for this weekend?
I'm excited for tonight. Tonight is the 1 year anniversary at Fable. I played there on Friday. It was so sick. It's like the most beautiful spot in Miami. It's kind of like a Tulum, like Mykonos rooftop vibe, but it's very elegant and an amazing crowd. So I'm excited for that tonight.
How did you, number one, get into DJing at Fable, but then also number two, just kind of DJing as a whole?
So DJing as a whole, so when I was younger, I used to sing. I used to be like a little pop star, very cheesy. It's like cringe to look back at it. But when I was about 16 to 19, when I was a junior in high school, was like when I started. So I've always had a music background in that sense, where I've used to master my tracks, co-produce some tracks, and I always knew how music worked. But then when I went to college, I kind of stopped doing it, and I always wanted to get back into it. But during COVID, I used to throw these sick COVID parties in Cape Cod. My friends and I, we rented a sweet house in Chatham, and we would have COVID parties every weekend, and I would just DJ for probably 50 to sometimes maybe upwards of 100 people in our place, to the point where so many people would be so pissed about spreading COVID and all that stuff. So I would just do it for friends, just for fun. And then I moved down here about a year later, or a year and a half later after that. And my buddy asked me to do a rooftop party with him. And he was the DJ, and he was just bring a bunch of people out. And he went to the bathroom one time, and I just took over. And he was like, oh shit, let's just DJ this together. I didn't know you knew how to play. And then from there, that was last January. And then we kind of just took it from there and just kept on going with it. I have a really big group of friends down here, 200 people. We have everyone down here in...
This is yours, that's mine.
It's funny, Miami is so different. Everyone down here is friends with each other. Everyone knows everyone. It's small, but it's big. There's no cliques down here, and I used to live in LA, and I thought it was very cliquey. People had their friend groups, and I thought it was very fake. No one was really good friends with everyone there. I mean, obviously there are people, but that was my experience. Here, everyone just hangs out with everyone. I just don't have. There's never any problems in our big friend group. I don't see people there's never any fights or anything. Everyone's just so tight with everyone and just wants to have a good time. And I think that's just more it's just the lifestyle down here. Everyone's happy, everyone's fit, everyone just is happier because the weather is just amazing. The vibes are amazing. There's so much to do. It's kind of in Boston in the summer, you probably go out to happy hour all the time, and you just text your boys like, let's go meet here because like it's nice out. But, like that's every day here. It's nice out. So
Yeah, right now, Boston. Like we flew down this morning. We looked out the window of the plane. It was snowing out, and it's getting dark at like 4:30. Like,
was it snowing today?
Yeah, it was snowing in the morning.
Yeah, you get seasonal depression. Yeah, when it's dark at 4:30 and then you go out at 7, you're like, I feel like it's midnight. I can't do this.
Totally. Yeah. So moving from, you were at college. Where did you go to college?
UNH.
Okay, so New Hampshire. You're from Mass. Then you went out to LA first.
So I actually did the first 2 years at UNH. So I took a gap year before I went to college. I did the first 2 years at UNH. My third year, I did abroad in Barcelona. Best experience ever. Anyone who's studying abroad needs to study abroad. It was insane. Second semester, my junior year, I did FIU in Miami. It was like it wasn't abroad, but it was like called Study Away USA. So it was like you get to pick another school inside the country. And I did that. And
Was that your first glimpse of Miami?
yeah. And I lived with 2 friends. We had a house a little bit north in North Bay Village. It was a sweet spot. It's crazy because we lived in a beautiful, like redone, renovated house, and we paid $1,200 each per bedroom. And now the rent is more than doubled that.
When you were there, were you like, I could see myself spending time here after?
I wanted to, but I had a bunch of friends that wanted to go to LA, and I lost the battle on that one. So I ended up dropping out of school that year because we had an e-commerce business, and it was doing pretty well. And then we moved to LA, and then LA was great. It was a cool year. Just didn't really know what I wanted to do yet, like in life, and was kind of just figuring it out. And then it wasn't until I had one of my best friend was like, come move home, help me, and let's build this business bigger. And then I moved back to Boston for 1.5 years before coming down here.
And you were doing e-commerce at the time?
Yeah, it was all e-commerce agency, fulfillment center. It was a 3PL as well. So we did the shipping for online brands, but we also had our own brands as well. And during COVID, it was like the best business to be in.
That was like 2019, 2020, or like
2020.
Okay, yeah.
Like the day the stimulus checks hit was like the best day ever.
I'm sure.
How long were you like in the what brought you into the e-commerce space? How did you first start dipping your toes into that?
It was because of my best friend. He's the one that gets full credit to it. He's the one that just brought me in, and I just kind of onboarded people to using the platform. He made an app for Shopify, and I basically taught people how to use the app and what products to sell, and just I did the marketing basically for it. And then Instagram changed their algorithm, and it stopped working the same. So then we just started using it for ourselves, and he rebuilt it bigger. And like he worked with all the devs. I kind of did more of like the warehouse like management. I took care of all the employees, made sure like all the fulfillment was going out and all that type of stuff. Yeah.
And did you kind of see like a way out of that, or was that not where your passion was?
It was kind of like we knew it was very short-lived. We were selling products that weren't anyone could sell these products. It was just getting stuff from China. They weren't something that was going to last long. It was just short money, but it was good money, and it was good like start. The 3PL would have been something that would have been long-term because everyone needs their stuff shipped and put in storage. But it wasn't something like I always wanted to be the face of something, and it wasn't until then where I started my hat company, where I was like, this is cool because like I can be the face of it. It's just me. I can like market it myself by just wearing it around, making videos of me making these custom hats. So that was kind of like the downfall of, well, the downfall was ads were starting to get so expensive, our products weren't selling as much, and it was kind of like I was doing both at the same time type deal.
So you touched on the hats there. Like, how did that come into the picture? Obviously it's a very hands-on arts and crafts, like kind of fine skill. How did you make your first hat and end up making many more?
So I did a trip to Aspen with a couple buddies, and there's a store there called Kimosabe that like everyone goes and gets these hats from. And I bought 2 hats one day there. And it was just like, there was nothing really to do there. Everything was closed. So like we just hung out there, and we just like were designing hats, and there were a couple girls that worked there, and we were just kind of like shooting the shit. and I was like kind of very intrigued on like how they were made. And these hats were around like 800 to upwards of like a couple $1,000s. So I bought 2, and I was like, oh, I want to get more of these hats. Like, these are sick. So from there, that same night, I went home and I figured out like, where do you get the, like, they're made out of beaver fur and rabbit fur. So I was like, where do you supply this from? And I got this guy in the Ukraine that sold the felts. And I ordered like a bunch of like wooden blocks. It's how you use, it's what you use to mold the hats. And it took me probably like 2.5 months to acquire like all the tools, maybe like about $10,000 in supplies. Not that much to enter it. And once I got everything, I drove out to Palm Springs, rented a house right where Coachella is. It was literally like the neighborhood, like right where Coachella is. And we got a sweet spot there with my roommate. And the second hat I ever made, it was literally the second TikTok video I made. I had 0 followers on TikTok, and the video just blew up, got probably maybe like almost 2 million views. But it was this company, Unilad. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I've seen them before.
Okay, so like they reached out to me and they're like, hey, can we post your TikTok on our page? And they did on their Facebook page, and their Facebook page got like 20 million views, and like instantly, like my Instagram was going nuts. And then I just started I made a website that same night that they posted it, and I put maybe 4 different style hats on there, and I sold maybe in the first like 3 days like 30 hats maybe. And at the time I was selling them for $400 to $500, and I was like, holy shit. Like,
And you'd only made like 3 hats before that?
I literally made 3. I didn't even know how to make them yet. Like, I didn't even know how to sew yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you must have learned a lot through those like 30 hats. Like,
it took me a while to finish those hats. Like, I didn't have packaging yet. Like, I didn't have like a lot of the essential stuff, but it took me a while to get them done because I was just like a one-man show. My ex would help me like out a lot with them. Yeah, but it took me probably like a whole another month to get those done, and it was like hard to take more orders on. But then I started like getting the nice packaging, like getting better tools, better fur, like better supplies, and then really like took it to like a more serious level. And then 6 months after that is when I moved down here. I ended up getting my own office space for it. It was actually just a second apartment, like right up the street in Edgewater. I just turned that into like a little hat workshop, and then I started making them out of there.
Did the e-commerce business that you were running back up in Boston kind of help you build the infrastructure out for the hat business? Because I mean, it's pretty hard. I feel like it'd be pretty hard to sell like a hat for $500 when you're a brand new company with, you know, no real branding other than a Unilad video.
Yeah. Yeah, the e-commerce experience helped. I actually never did any marketing for my hat company. The videos kind of sold themselves. I think people, when they would watch the videos of me making them, realize how much work would go into making a hat, so they would understand the price point of the hat. Because now I sell them for like an average of like $850. So I mean, the actual the Ukrainian and Russian war actually made the price of the fur go up over like 250%. Like it costs a lot of money for fur, and I always forget. Like I have like $30,000 of like fur, just like
Here,
yeah,
still?
yeah, like unused like fur, like not just the cost of it. Not even the hats aren't even made yet, which I always forget because it's just so expensive now. But when I originally, that's what I probably bought it for, but it's actually probably worth even more now. So, which is kind of a cool to think about. But yeah, so I think it's more just the videos of showing the process of how they're made, and that they're made by specifically me. People were attracted to the fact that, like, okay, I'm not supporting like this big business. Like, I see the person that's making it, like it's going towards him. They can see like it takes like 2 days to make a hat. It takes 2 days because it has to dry. I'd say labor hours, it's probably about 4 hours per hat. But
and it's also like a aesthetic like video too. It's like, it's kind of satisfying. It's easy to watch. Like the process, you make it look good. So that definitely helps.
Yeah. No, honestly, like the steamer and
you know,
like,
the videos of like you walking back back in and out of your apartment.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was really cool because I feel like I bought a hat from you on like the earlier end. right?
Yeah.
I was, I bought one, worn it out a few times, and I always get fucking million compliments on it.
Yeah.
But it was really cool to see you kind of refine your craft over, the years over the year that your hat company was a priority.
Yeah.
I know the packaging improved, like the
Yeah.
inside lining of the hat
Yeah.
was like a lot better. Because like now your hats, they have like the "Don't be a sheep" or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And
the
then-
wolf inside.
right.
Does yours have that or no?
No, it doesn't have it.
doesn't?
No.
Okay.
But
yeah.
mine was a custom one you did for me because I wanted it to match my pea coat.
Yeah.
And then you told me, I don't know if this is true, but like you had like somebody on the Leafs and they wanted like my hat in particular, and you're like, no, I'd give it to you, but this is a custom order.
Who was
do you remember
it?
that story? Or was it Mitch Marner that used to wear your hats?
Mitch Marner wears them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was him. You were out with him once in Miami, and you texted me.
I wasn't out, but he.
Uh.
I think I might have sent it to him, and he was like, "I like that. I want that one." It was like the last color, but I gave it to you. Yeah. Your color is like, I love that one. I can't get that color anymore, which is sad.
Yeah, it's like a
but-
greenish beige. It looks good. It's
Yeah.
pretty neutral, so it goes with a lot. But
Yeah.
So that was like your first kind of face. Well, obviously besides the music, like in high school, you were the face of something. That was your brand. You were.
That was
kind
like
of
my
behind
first
it.
brand that I was like the face of, because I've had so many brands over the years of just like jewelry companies and just random
Yeah.
stuff. But that was like the first one where I was like, I could put my face behind it.
Mhm.
And honestly, that was like the reason I feel like why I made so many good friends down here, is because when I first moved here, I would wear a hat everywhere I went. And I feel like I was like a walking meme around Brickell, because I just was always like, that's the hat guy. Like, and I would go into all the restaurants. I'm like a very outgoing person. I would hang out with like all the people that worked at every restaurant. I knew everyone, but like everyone also like would just like know like I always wear a hat, and I'd come in and like have just a crazy new hat on. And I just feel like I met so many people because it's such an easy conversation starter, especially when like people are like, oh, where'd you get it from? I'm like, oh, I make it. Then it's like, oh, like people are more intrigued on what it's all about. So
Was that something that like you feel like? I mean, it's probably similar. Like being in high school, you're the music guy, and like you kind of like there's a lot of attention, whether that's wanted or unwanted, that comes with that. So were you kind of used to that at that point, and like you were just like embracing it?
I think the funniest thing is when I was younger, when I used to like go around, people would always come up to me and be like, oh, are you Ben Mader? Like, can I get a picture? Like, it would be like younger teeny bopper girls. And the funniest thing is I went to the Heat game one time, and 3 times, I've never had this happen like multiple times in the same night. 3 people from the Heat game came up to me and they're like, holy shit, like you're the guy that makes hats. Like I see you on TikTok. And then they would be like, they'd literally have it pulled up like right there. And I was like, wow, that is so funny, because I'm so used to like people being like, oh, like you make music. And then they're like, oh, you make hats. And that was the first time I laughed, because I'm like, this is so different, but like it's happened before in my life in a different way.
And it was kind of intentional too, right? To change your image in a way. To
Yeah. It was just, but it was just, it was different.
Yeah.
Like now, it was before it was like me, and then now it's like my brand.
Your
So
product.
it's cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah, we got recognized for the first time the other day. We were up on our building gym, and then some guy was like, hey, like, you guys are the kids of the podcast, right? We're like, yeah.
It's sick.
That was cool.
There's not that many people that have a good quality podcast like you guys do. And you guys do it right. I mean, the whole set, this rig that's in here right now is amazing. It's sick. And from all your videos online, like, you guys crush it. I love it. I've never wanted to do a video podcast before, because I didn't want it to be cheesy. I don't really like to talk about myself that much. I'm like kind of shy on camera when I have to talk, but I'm not shy on camera. Like when I'm like, I love to like entertain. I fucking love to DJ. I love to host. I have 30 people here for dinner like once a week, and it's all my friends. I love to entertain and host. It's like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, I'm pissed we're missing one of those pasta nights. That was like so fun.
No, we're getting a whole art pass a week here. So
So let's reel it back a little bit to your start in music. So you said you kind of went on like this little like wave when you were 16 to 19.
Mhm.
Like, what was that opportunity like? Like, how did you exactly grow your brand when you were 16 and kind of still nobody? I
think it actually happened pretty fast. I think the best takeaway from it was how much I learned from it. When I started, I definitely took a lot of. I look back on it, I'm like, this is cringe, but you learn so much as like a young kid. Like I was throwing my own shows in states all over the country, I would be able to sell my own 500 tickets to a venue myself. I would have to front money to rent out a venue like Webster Hall in New York City, which is an iconic venue. I did that 3 times. I used to do the Middle East downstairs in Boston. Like it would cost $5,000 to rent it out, and I would have to front the money to be able to rent out that venue. And then you'd have to, all the money that you make back on tickets would be the money that you make. But like, I was so hungry as a kid, and I was like, I feel like ignorance is bliss in that sense, where I look back and I'm like, wow, like this music was so shitty, but like I was so determined to do it, and I just like was so ignorant about it, where you just don't even see it, but it worked, and I was the most confident in my life ever. Except now I feel like I have that same momentum back in a different way with DJing. So I feel like I learned a lot just from just throwing my own shows, and like my parents were the most supportive parents ever, but financially they were always like, this is on you to do it. But they were very supportive in the sense of like, my mom is my #1 fan. She's bumping Hit It From Tinder. like she actually rips Hit It From Tinder.
We were ripping that earlier, 4:30.
I woke him up with that this morning.
No, yeah, my mom actually is like, this is my favorite song. Like,
That's great.
Yeah.
It's catchy. It's like, it's
funny.
fun. So how did you like get to a point where you could even sell 500 tickets to one of these music venues? Because it's not easy to do when you're 16 years old. Like, how did you first get your name out there as an artist?
Through a lot of ways. I was pretty big on like Twitter. It was like the whole like Viner phase.
Okay.
I wasn't a Viner, but
Okay.
I got asked to open for like a bunch of their tours and shows.
Maybe like Jacob Sartorius and them?
Yeah, like Cameron Dallas, Nash Career type people. Shawn Mendes was in there back then. I used to do like a bunch of I would be like the opener for like a bunch of their shows, and those girls were crazy. Like they would do anything, and they would post so many photos on social media, and it helped so much. And I would do that, and then I would go like to, if somebody else was performing at like the House of Blues in Boston, or like the couple other venues in Boston, I would go and I'd go to the line, and I would like have like business cards there with like my social media like handles on it, and I would wait until like a couple of girls would like run up to me and they would like ask for a picture, and then once like 5 do, the whole line is like, who is that? Like, I want a picture. And then I would have like a friend like hand out like all the cards, and everyone would just take a picture, and they would post it on Instagram with me, not even knowing who I was, and then it would just like snowball effect. So that would help, and then I would open for a bunch of people, that would help, and then I would do my own stuff. So it was kind of just like combined.
That's
like,
crazy
a
that they
bunch of
just
things.
wanted to like, they didn't even know who you were. They just
Dude.
like figured like, oh, he's famous.
That's like the era, like that era of like those like Viner phase guys. Like those girls were insane. Like they would shake, cry, like scream. Like as soon as they thought someone was famous, they would just like run over and like swarm, and it worked so well. And I would do it with like my friends would like come help me out. We would do it together. Some of them were other music people. Like we'd do a lot of shows together. So it was kind of just like a snowball effect of that, and it was pretty quick.
What was like looking back, like obviously like you have to like remember, there's some great memories there, like one like favorite memory, or just like some show that like you feel like was like monumental, like, you know, just like you're young or you're crushing it.
Oh, there was like a really good one I did. It was a Christmas, it was like maybe 2 days before Christmas or something like that. It was Paradise Rock Club in Boston. It was sold out. It was for this it was like with a bunch of other people, and that was like one of the best. It was my senior year of high school, and that was like one of the best moments where I was like, wow, this is like so sick. It's like 1,000 people. So many of the people there already knew me because I was from Boston. Weren't like all my direct ticket sales at all, but it was like most of the people there knew who I was just because I have done so much in Boston. But I mean, there's so many good memories. A lot of them are just like with my friends. Like we would just go, we were like so young, just getting hotels in New York, New Jersey, Philly, like fucking around, like having the most fun, like underage, just like going out, like random college parties. Like, yeah, it was cool.
What was it like when you were in high school? Because I mean, like I know at my high school, like the kids who were in the arts definitely kind of got shit on here and there.
Yeah.
And like if somebody was putting out SoundCloud rap, they'd get shit on too. So what was it like, you kind of singing Justin Bieber type music, like in high school when kids can be pretty mean?
It was my junior year. I took a lot of shit. It was.
Was it from guys mainly or mainly girls?
It was guys. Like, it never like bothered me
right
at all, and it was just more awkward sometimes. Like I would be down the hallway, and like some guy would just like be screaming my name down the hallway. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, am I supposed to like laugh at it, or like it's awkward? Someone just screaming your name. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna like fight the guy in school. So that would happen, but like at the end of the day, like by senior year, I mean, I would do shows, and like some of the shows I'd be getting like a $5,000 check at like 17, 18 years old, and I would do like 3 shows in a weekend sometimes. So I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I was making so much money as a senior in high school. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, it sounds like that you kind of had the money coming in to back it up, but it definitely takes, a lot of stones to start posting anything online or to start doing anything in the creative space. And it can be intimidating because, people always kind of when they do congratulate you, it seems like it's very tongue in cheek sometimes, but not really authentic. But then once you do blow up, it's, it's great.
Yeah. The thing that it's different down here is like now, like my friend group down here is so like ride or die and so supportive, and like they are so like they just have my back, and they come to everything of mine. They do anything for me, and it's just like I've never like it's just so different now. Like it's actually amazing like how supportive like my group is here.
Talk about that, like finding that again, the passion, like drive for music, and like to be a performer. What was that? Was there like some kind of moment when you were like, getting into the DJing, and like you moved down here and you're like, you felt a similar way that you felt when you were 16, 17 and like had these goals to be on stage?
I think honestly my like best moment where I was like, holy shit, like I feel like, I don't know, like this Friday we did the show at the place I'm playing at tonight, Fable, and that was like my first time really doing something that was to that many tickets. We had 850 people came. The venue holds 600 people. It was 1 in, 1 out after the first hour. It was insane the amount of people there, and it was crazy. Like, we did 5 days of promotion for it, and I just like didn't like that was like the moment where I was like, I need to do this. I want to do this. I'm gonna go all in, and I need to do it. Like, it needs to be right now because the window is so short. Like, I have everyone supporting me, but 2 years from now, like these people might move on. They might get married, they have kids. Like, my friends are gonna start to whittle out, not in a bad way, but just in a life way. Life goes on. So like it needs to. I'm like going all out right now, and I'm putting my hat company on hold. I'm just doing music school every single day, and just the last box I need to check is I just need to have my music be the best. Like, I need to be the best producer. So for the next like 3 months, I'm just only doing production school. What's production school like? It's not like a specific like actual like college or something. I just buy a ton of online classes to like, there's just like packages that can teach you how to do everything on Ableton and production and music theory. So I'm just taking different courses like on my own. And then basically the way you learn is just by doing it. Like, that's the best way to learn. It's doing it yourself. And YouTube is the best thing ever because you can find everything out on YouTube. So
to be the best, like, in your head, what does that look like? Is there certain like benchmarks that you have set out for yourself in terms of like performances and like venues or just different things that you can accomplish?
There's no like specific person where I would play with and be like, okay, I made it. That wouldn't do it for me. It would more so just be like, I don't know. Is there like a venue you want to play, or somebody that you want to like sing over your beats, or? there's a venue would obviously be Space in Miami. Like my goal for the year was I need to play Space by by June 1st. That was my goal. I made that last June 1st. I was like, I did my first like real show, and I was like, by this time next year I need to play at Space. And it's just an iconic venue here, and it's amazing, and it's real music fans, and you can just take people for an absolute musical journey and ride there. Like it's the coolest thing. I mean, everyone is on so many drugs, and yeah. Have you guys been to Space?
I've never been to Space. I've been to 11, and I've been to like Mr. Jones, so the other big Miami clubs, but
Okay.
I've never made it to Space. Just never had the opportunity to.
So I mean, the house and EDM culture is just so different than hip hop culture. It's just, I was actually at a hip hop club the other night in Miami Beach, and when I was there, I was just like, I haven't been to a hip hop club in so long, and I was like, the culture at like a house venue is just so much better, and everyone there is just having so much more fun. Everyone dances. No one really cares about.
You're not thinking about whether people like look.
No
how
one,
they
yeah,
look at
you don't
and-
go there to like. I feel like people go to hip hop clubs to flex, and when you go to like a house club, like you go there to have a fucking good ass time and dance. Like you go there for someone to take you on a musical journey and just go have fun. Like people, it's just such a different environment. Like the hip hop clubs, like girls are sitting like on the back of the booth, like up top, like just looking good. I'm sitting there just like trying to have fun. I'm like, this isn't fun for me. Like I don't like it. Yeah.
So as somebody who's had like, you've had your fingers in like a million different pots like your entire life, whether it was the jewelry business or the hat business or the teen music and now like the more DJing you're doing now, like what's your advice to somebody who, has a lot of hobbies or interests and they're just trying to like stay focused? Because I mean, there's definitely, like a healthy balance between trying a bunch of things out and, giving everything a chance once. But then you also got to kind of like skate your lane, put your head down and grind on some things every now and then. So like, how have you found that balance and managed your priorities over the last few years?
My biggest advice would just be like, try everything, meet everyone, be nice to everyone, just put yourself out there. And I struggle staying focused myself. Like it is so hard. Like doing things on your own or just being self-employed is just, it's tough because I've had my hands in so many different things where it's like, I can't focus on one thing almost in a way that it hurts me because it takes time away and I get distracted because I just do like one thing for this business and then the other thing for music. And then it's just like going back and forth. It takes the priority away from like what you actually want to do. So I think if I was better at just focusing like on one specific thing, which is what I'm trying to do right now, I think it'll be so much more productive and my time will be much better spent. Yeah, so that's honestly my biggest struggle is my focus. It's tough when you have so many different things going on and you're trying to focus on this event, but I'm trying to run my hat company at the same time, and then your time gets stretched out. And then the weekends come every week and I'm playing gigs and we're having these crazy parties and events. So yeah, it just becomes hard to stay, I'm not gonna say stay focused, but just like time management. It's the hardest part.
Yeah, definitely. Have you like been this focused in a while? Because it seems like you're pretty, like your current goal is just, I'm going to be a DJ. Like how, is this the most focused you've been in a while?
I think it's the most focused and just the most confident in myself, where I'm just like, I know when I go out and I know when I play, like I'm giving people a good time and that's all I really want to do is just make people feel good. And that's like the best compliment you can get is somebody being like, this was the best night I've ever had out. And yeah,
It's been easy to see that people are having fun because everybody's always posting your stories, a million different angles of you. You get the headphones over your eyes, you're standing on top of the DJ board, just like random shit like that. But, we saw people posting that for, the better part of the last month since we've been coming down here. And we've been so excited to come, like specifically because, we knew we were going to come here with you and we knew that we were going to see you live at Fable. So, your goal is definitely getting out there. So
yeah. And so I got a short window, so I got to make it happen now.
What goes into like DJing, like for like the components? Because like obviously there's a lot more than pressing play, and a lot of people think it's, you know, pressing play, touching buttons and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
what are like some of the main, I guess like pillars that you would like, you kind of have to like focus and like hit on like while you're on stage, or even just like in the production like stages?
It's like, it's pretty hard. Like the hardest thing is God, there's like been nights where I feel like I've been at war. Like when you play at some of these like bigger venues, there's just like, you're dealing with people that are very intoxicated and like on drugs, and like just like they're all around you, behind you, touching you, like asking for this, that, and like you're trying to like curate a room while like everyone's asking or doing something and like touching you, and it's like you're at war sometimes with like the people like that are around you. Like sometimes I've had guys that have been like in the booth that are just like consistently asked for something, and this guy's like, he's like, let me buy you a bottle, and I was like, I'm good. Like, I have my own bottles here. Guy's demanding buying me whatever bottle I want, and I'm like, I'm good. And then he's just yelling at me like, I want to buy you a bottle, and then he's like, I'll buy out the whole club. And I was like, bro, like chill. I had to make security come kick him out. But you're trying to mix, you're trying to like make the place a vibe and curate the whole room, and you have like these people like fucked up just screaming like random stuff at you, and it's just like as the night goes on, you feel like more and more the room's getting more like they're just getting deeper and they're turning into zombies.
What about like, I mean, for you, I don't know how big of an issue this was because your social circle is like so strong and you have a lot of supporters and friends here.
Yeah.
But like when you're first starting DJing and you're in like an empty room and like, you know, you have to show up and do it because you need to improve and you need to stay consistent. Like, how does that like feel?
Okay, so I haven't had to deal with that like really that much because I didn't start DJing until I had a friend group that I knew I could bring. So like luckily like I didn't like start off with like no friends like DJing. I waited to DJ until I had that group where I could just bring out like X amount of friends and it would be a full room. So I haven't really, the only time I've had like awkward experiences or just times that I wasn't having a good time was like a private. Yeah. No. We can't say that. Don't say that. I don't want to say anything bad. It's just like when you're doing, I've done like private parties where I'm like, okay, this makes me like hate DJing. Like I don't want to DJ. Like this isn't fun. This
but
takes,
you
like,
know
the
you
love
have
out of
to
it.
get your name out there a little bit.
No,
more,
no.
or
I would just do it if it was like a good
money. Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say no to good money, but now I'm like I will say no to good money because I don't like doing it, and it's just like kind of cheesy.
What do you think about those TikToks about like, it's like my brother came home from college and he's like a DJ
Oh
now.
my god, everyone. Yeah.
I feel like, was that like, I mean, I don't know, I didn't go to college, so like, has that always been like a thing where like kids just like think they can become a DJ in college, or is that like very like relevant like right now?
I mean, if I could go back to college, I would 100% like DJ. Like DJing, if you were the main DJ of your frat and if you went to a sick school, you went to Penn State.
Yeah, I had a good time there.
You guys must have crazy tailgates.
Yeah, no, the tailgates are great, and then the frats are good too. You know, like a lot of the DJs, like a lot of the frats, there's like different tiers, obviously. So like your top tier, your middle, whatever, lower, like whatever the social standing is. But like each of those tiers would probably have like a few different DJs in each different pledge class. So they would collaborate, you know, pretty well.
Yeah.
And they would always, you know, I still listen to a few DJs from Penn State that put out like, you know, two friends type mixes where, you know, it's just songs, different mixes, drops. So, you know, the kids are plenty talented, and I know some kids are kind of going out and doing stuff on their own right now. But I don't really think that many college DJs are able to make like a viable career off of it. It's more of just like a hobby that they're throwing in their basement on Thursdays. But
a lot of them, I feel like a lot of DJs come out, like they start in college in that frat scene, and then there'll be like one that'll like break away and just like take it more serious, and he'll be like really good. He'll do it. I mean, yeah, if I could go back to college, then like I would totally.
Yeah. Who are some like DJs or producers that you like look up to or just kind of admire, like their styles or their music that they put out?
There's so many right now. Mal P is one of my favorite. He's just very like gritty tech house. Like he's just like, you look at him and I'm like, this kid has it, and he's a very good producer, and like he has it as a DJ. Like you see him and you're like, he's a star. And Green Velvet is one of my favorite DJs as well. he just makes such amazing music. Also just a star. I mean, there's so many like legends. Like, I mean, Diplo is just like, he's done so many different things. He's so influential. He's just like a funny, like good guy, and he's been in the game for like over 20 years. So like, yeah, those are like three of my top right now. Diplo has always been there. There's, I mean, obviously John Summit he's a star. Like, he came in the scene, and like, he just, people love him. Like, he puts on a show, and it's not always about like just making the best music. Like, you have to just have the it factor where people like look at you and they know that like you bring, like, you make the room vibe.
Is that someone that you've kind of looked at his, you know, rise to where he is now and kind of studied a little bit?
Of course, I always look at it. It's obviously the first person I don't want to like say that to, because it sounds cheesy to be like, oh, like I want to be like a John Summit. Like, no, I want to be like my own thing and my own type of music. But obviously, like, I idolize what he's done, and he's amazing, and he brings the juice. Like, he comes to everywhere he plays, and he just rips it, and everyone has a good time. And that's like the end goal. It's just, he's humble as fuck too. Everyone just wants to have a good time, and that's the goal. Like, I just want people to feel good when they come to see me.
Yeah, so like you just mentioned like 4 huge DJs, obviously, and then like previously you had said that, you know, like there's nobody that you could play with that would make you say that, oh, I made it. But like, what are these 4 people, you know, like Summit, Diplo, whoever else, like what did they do to get so big, and like how are you trying to like follow their footsteps while also trying to stay fresh and on your own vibe?
Diplo is just, I mean, Diplo has had a long ride, and I was actually like, we were so young for that. He's had his hands in every track. He's done like, I mean, he's done hip hop. He's done biggest pop records with, I mean, every single big A-list celebrity. So his journey was way different, but I know that he was like starting out with just like, he was just playing like vinyl record. And I think he has a massive vinyl record collection actually. And he started out in Philly, I think. Yeah, Philly. And I mean, John Summit was Chicago, and they have a great music scene there. He was like, I mean, he's been around for a while. Like, he's been producing for a while, but it wasn't until COVID, and then he had what was it, Deep End came out, and that was like, that blew up on TikTok.
I love the video of him in his basement too.
He did like some tutorials. Yeah,
it was like a tutorial.
How to make like a gritty, like, it was like a gritty bass line,
totally,
like a rolling bass line or something.
But you can tell he's so invested and focused on it, and like, he had none of what he has now.
Yeah.
But he is kind of the same person.
He's the same person,
which is
like,
so cool.
That's also like what I love about DJs. I feel like they don't change like when they get famous. Like, I feel like there's not that many DJs that like are like that flex. You know, they're
a lot of them are kind of like mysterious, and you just kind of recognize the names, I feel like.
Yeah, they're not like, as soon as they blow up, they're not like rocking like crazy chains. Like, I've never seen a DJ with like a crazy like iced out Cuban or something like ridiculous. Right? Like,
we saw, who do we see?
There's like more normal people.
We were on the flight with Pauly D coming back from.
Yeah, Pauly D from Vegas.
From Vegas.
Really?
Yeah, dapped him up, but
he's always everywhere.
Yeah.
I guess that's just the lifestyle.
That's the crazy part is sometimes I'm like, no, I have like endless energy, but there are times where you do, or like you wonder like, how do these guys do 3 shows in a day? They're literally like in one state, they fly across the country to another, and then they go like straight to Europe. Like, in the summer, these guys are doing festivals like 3 times a day, and they have to go back to their residency in like Vegas. It's insane. Like, they're just like not sleeping, and they're just go, and they're just playing everywhere. Like, it's pretty wild. Like, sometimes I've done like 3 shows in a day in Miami, and I think it's the coolest thing ever, because you go from like a midday like party, and then you'll do like a Joya Beach like sunset party, and then you'll do like I did like a Treehouse like headlining show that same night, which is like a darker techno spot.
Yeah, I've been to Treehouse.
So, and like those days, I'm like, it's sick, because it's kind of like you're like, it's not a tour, but it's like you're like doing like so many different things in the same day. But when you think about it, with adding in flights and going to these massive festivals, like 50,000 people, it's like, holy shit.
Is the residency kind of like the goal for like any DJ? Is that something that you like look towards? Is like, okay, when you have a residency at a known club, like you've kind of made it, and that's another level to hit.
I mean, actually, I don't know if that. Obviously, the residencies make the DJs a lot of money. Like Vegas will pay them like big contracts for the year, but I don't think it's like that. It's not like the end all be all. It's not like that's not like what you're looking for. I think people would rather just do like their own tours. That's not really, honestly, that's something I never thought about, being like, oh, like the big DJs get the big residencies and they just get a lot of money out of it. But I don't think they really, it's not going to be their favorite shows, because it's not going to be as music. They're not going to be music fans. Like, these are people that are coming to the club to like party, and it's much better to play in front of a crowd that's like a festival, because those people are coming for the music, like not to just party. Yeah.
So you just kind of mentioned like different types of crowds, and
Yeah.
I mean, I know you said that when you like DJ'd at Coquette, like you couldn't really go into like that deep of house because it's kind of like a brunch.
It's just like it's
So
a
is
brunch
it-
party. Also, no.
Do you ever have like difficulty like reading the crowd and figuring out what they want, or is it like ever difficult to really get the crowd jumping on a certain night in the beginning?
Sometimes, like, there's been times where the crowd has been a little weird, but
How do you get past that?
I don't know. It's just sometimes it just like whittles its way to like what you want it to be, but sometimes it takes a little bit more. Like, you feel like you're almost like fighting like the crowd, in a way. But for the most part, like, I'm doing venues and bringing out 100+ of my own people.
So they're gonna
So
support
it's
you no
like,
matter what.
I know what they're gonna want to hear, so I haven't really had those challenges that much yet.
Have you ever like walked away from the show and been like, "Wow, I fucked up. This sucked. Like I failed tonight," or has that not really happened to you? Or do you feel like that you're never gonna let that like go to your head because it's such like an artistic and creative space?
You can fuck up DJing and no one will notice in the room. Like, there's like, you'll notice, but unless there's like a DJ in the crowd, like they'll probably notice, but like the average person does not know. You can
Especially
fuck
as
up.
the night goes on and they're just getting more and more
you
fucked up.
can fuck up and they're not gonna know what's going on. I've been kicked off stage before.
Why? Because you went too long, or like you got the crowd too rowdy?
No, it was honestly just like a messed up situation, and I don't want to like say like where it was or anything, but like it was just.
Can you give us the general details?
I was just kicked off. The vibe of my music was different than like what they wanted. I brought out still like 50 people, and they were just like, "You're done. Like, get off." And it was kind of a miscommunication between. They thought I was making money behind the venue's back selling tickets, even though I did a free RSVP link. I never would take money behind the venue's back, especially if it's my first time doing it at a venue for like $140. Like, absolutely not. Like, I would never try to make someone pay to get in when I'm promoting it online for free. So yeah, that just made me realize more, like, I just need to focus on like making my own shit, being the best, where I can just go and play whatever I want to play,
And building genuine connections with venues,
rather
too,
than
right?
just like play for someone else's party, play for someone else's event. Like, yeah.
I remember it was sick. Like, it was in June, on that boat. I was down there.
Yeah.
I was down here.
That was so much
and
fun.
It was like you played for like 2 hours, like sunset on the
Yeah.
boat, and then we were like going back into dock, and you're just like,
Yeah.
"Fuck it, another hour." The boat turns around, and like there's
Yeah.
fireworks going off like right when that happened.
That was like my best friend Rachel's birthday party, and yeah, that was so sick. We were heading back into dock, and I was like, ask Captain how much it is for another hour. And I was like, I'll pay it. And it was like $1,000. And I was like, sent him money right away, because everyone was having so much fun. Like, we didn't want to end it. There were definitely some people on the boat that were like pissed because they had like dinner reservations. But it was so much fun. And as soon as that boat turned around, like these random fireworks started going off. It was like the coolest thing ever. And what happened to you? You broke your arm or something?
Well, yeah, because we were going down to
We were
Nashville.
supposed to come.
We were going down to Nashville, dude, and I it was an awful break. I feel we ended up talking about
We've
this.
talked about this on
on,
like 30,
literally, like
every single
the
podcast.
people
I
that
haven't heard
actually-
the story, but I remember you were supposed to come. I was pumped for you to come, like show you like it's sick time down here. I was like, fuck.
You said that time of June though, that was like a very kind of pivotal like moment for you to realize this is like.
Yeah, that's
Your
that's
main
when I
focus.
started doing like more like serious venues and stuff like that. And yeah, like better spots, and that's when I was like starting to go at it. And then like I feel like after summer, just really started going at it, doing my own shows, own ticketed events. That's where all the money is. It's like you run your own ticketed events, keep 100% of the tickets for the most part.
And that comes back to the business model when you were a kid,
Yeah.
17 years old, like
Yeah.
renting out a club in Boston and selling tickets, right?
Yeah. But this time, like when the nightlife is so much different because when you have people that are buying alcohol, like you don't pay a fee to the venue.
Yeah.
You actually get a percentage of the venue.
Okay.
So it's way better.
Yeah.
Way more money to be made.
Well, cool. I think like one thing that we try to do here, and like we haven't done it like yet really since we're getting off the ground, but like kind of revisit like where, like when we have a guest on, where they're at. So like it'll be cool, 6 months from now, in June, July, to sit down again, see where you're at, obviously see where the show's at and everything. And I think
Absolutely. That would be sick. Hopefully it's in another city too.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys move down here.
Yeah, I know. We were just saying that. I think like the plan is to, like we're doing like production for other people now too. So, we got our own show, but we got a couple others, launching early 2024 that we're excited about. So once we can kind of get a foothold in Boston, we're looking to expand to a new city. And I think Miami's on the very high up on a very short list.
Yeah.
So,
how did you guys come up with Nickel Up, the name?
So just like it's like some nickel up is just saying that I've always kind of heard throughout my life, and it's like, oh, like what does it mean? It's somebody who just hustles like every day. They're just doing whatever to get their nickel up. And like I think originally the phrase kind of had to do with money, but now we kind of talk about success can be anything. So like
Absolutely.
you had the warehouse that you were making a ton of money on that you kind of took a step back from, and then you wanted to start other endeavors that were more creative or more fun to you, that made you feel like more fulfilled. So like I know you're making money DJing now, but like even if you were making less and you were just happy, that's getting your nickel up too. It's really just kind of doing the little things right in life, hustling on the little things just to set yourself up for success. So I feel like that you're the perfect guest to have on, just because serial entrepreneur, you've always tried to get your nickel up and do whatever that makes you happy, and that's huge.
Yeah. No, yeah, a lot of the money that's made, I also just put right back into it. I mean, living in this spot, it's so expensive, but I knew that it was going to be so pivotal towards my career, because I can host so many people here. I can have people come stay here. I can have friends who also make music if they need to fly in. Like I have a guest bedroom for them. I have my hat workshop in the third bedroom. And there's so much entertaining I can do here. Disco ball, like I throw sick parties here, and it just helps me be able to bring out more people to wherever we're going, and just like build relationships. Like there's nothing better than connecting with people and making more friends. Like that's the best thing. Like, and everyone down here in Miami is so open to that. I meet people in the elevator all the time here, and they're like, "Oh, I just moved here." It'll be like a girl, and I'll be like, "Oh, like you'd fit in so well with my girlfriends, like come and hang out with us." And like a month later, like we're all best friends, and they're in the friend group, and it's like so cool to just connect people and have that opportunity down here. Like it's just so different than going out in Boston and going to the Southie bars, and everyone's dressed like the same thing, and like they're all looking at you like, what, like, why is this kid dressed like that? He looks like a douchebag. Like, you know what I mean?
No,
yeah, it's just everyone down here just like so open to meeting people and traveling and just having a good time, and that's the best part.
What does "don't be a sheep" mean?
Don't be a sheep is just more so about like, don't be just be a main character. Like be someone that stands out, be the main character of the room. Don't just be like a reserved, like
don't
bring something to the table and then be an alpha, you know what I mean? And I don't mean it in like a bad way where like be a boss person, like a bossy person, but just
don't
bring
conform,
something, just be the main character, like,
live life how you want to. Yeah, that's great.
Exactly.
So I think
sheep get killed by wolves.
I got one more question, at least for me. So it's like everything that you've done while it's been in like a ton of different industries, it seems like to me everything was like a logical step to get to where you were today. Because when you were doing like your teen tour,
Yeah.
you kind of got the taste for the spotlight, you got the taste for performing, running your own shows,
But
and
not
then
like not intentionally though. Like none of it. Yeah, it just happened.
right.
Yeah.
So then you moved into like the e-com space,
Mhm.
and then you kind of got a foundation for that, just running an online business, and then from there you kind of parlayed it into the building your hat brand.
Mhm.
And I know you said you didn't do a ton on like the e-com marketing side with that, but you
Mhm.
still built a business online, and then
Yeah.
through that you kind of built your personal brand in
Yeah.
Miami. Whether your hat company was a direct or indirect marketing vehicle for Benjamin Lloyd, the DJ. You still got your name out there in Miami,
Yeah.
and now you're killing it in Miami. You're starting to go back to new cities, whether it's New York, Aspen, Barcelona, Boston.
Mhm.
Like, what's the next step after DJing? What's your next goal?
It was my dream to own a speakeasy.
You've always said that. That's what I thought you were gonna
and
say.
had the front room be a vintage hat shop, and then have a back lounge where it's like disco-y but like just a vibey spot where you could do like nights that were like comedy nights, but you could also do like a disco 80s night, like just kind of like cool curated parties towards like different things, different nights of the week. That was like my dream to be the face of that. I still want that someday, but the more that I like see restaurants come and go, the more I'm like, it is so hard to make it as a restaurant. These like the lifetime of restaurants are so short, and the profits are just like they're so small, and it has to hit right. It has to be a perfect location. The execution needs to be like so spot on. Now it can happen. People make a lot of money doing it, of course, but the more you see it, the more you realize it's one of the riskiest businesses to get into.
I think statistically it is.
It's just insane. Like, you think that a restaurant is doing, or a club is doing so well, but there's just so many costs to run it, and it's just hard to keep it full, and it's hard to do it for more than 2 years, because then people get tired of the spot. And Dave Grubman does the best job of doing it. He just has a new spot after new spot, and they all do so well. Like he crushes it. I mean, his marketing's great, the menus are great, the atmosphere is amazing. Like, it's an awesome. He's built Miami. Like, he's helped make Miami what it is today. Like, he's one of the like founding fathers of like what Miami nightlife is, and it's such an inspiration. Like, good for him.
It's
Well,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's perfect.
I think we're kind of at a good stopping point.
Totally.
All right.
But anything else that
Appreciate
you
you,
wanna? Anything else you wanna
yeah.
say? Anything else you wanna share?
No, that's it.
Awesome,
I appreciate you
Ben.
guys having me on.
Of course,
Thank
anytime
you.
we'll have.
Oh, wait.
For tonight.
We didn't even ask this. I asked you this, and then you said we talk about it there in the pod. So before you started DJing consistently, you were your Ben Nader, obviously, and then your hat brand was by Benjamin Lloyd.
Yep.
And then your Instagram used to be like Mater Do It. And I remember that there was like a vote on your story, and what should my DJ name be? And it was Benjamin Lloyd or Mater Do It.
Yeah.
And how did you decide to go with Benjamin Lloyd?
That was tough because I loved Maynard Do It. I feel like it fit me as like a person. I feel like my whole like DJ vibe, a lot of it is just like we have such like, it's just like have a good time. We get fucked up. We have the best friends. I have so many girlfriends. One of the best comments I get from my guy friends is like, I love coming to your events because I get laid every time I go. So that's like the best compliment I can get is like, my friends come, like I bring a ton of girls, and then my guy friends are like, it's so easy for me to get laid because there's so many options. So
You made her do it.
so I just felt though like that name was very childish, and for the long term, if I wanted to be like a world name DJ, I had to do something more elegant and like prestigious. So I always knew that it was gonna have to be that or something different, but like I wanted to see what the people said.
I feel like Benjamin Lloyd is a very like powerful name
Elegant,
too.
yeah.
Like
That's
very-
my middle name, yeah. My
very full name.
grandfather.
There you go. Well,
Okay.
all right, Benjamin
All right,
Lloyd.
Benjamin Lloyd. Thank you for hopping on, man.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited for tonight.
It's gonna be sick.
Sweet.
Word.
All right.
Awesome, bro.